All right, we are live. It is Wednesday, October 11th, 5:47 p.m. and about 13 degrees Celsius. And I am just above York Mills subway station, just north of the intersection of Yonge Street and York Mills. So I think technically I'm in North York right now. I see Wesley here, Yogi here, Harjot, Alejandra, I Like to Walk, Mike, Michael Nguyen, a very long name I can't pronounce. Janine is here, Marge is here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And York Mills. All right, so I think the audio is good. I think the video is good. Nadi is here, Manuel, James Greenwood, Harjot, Rayama Kanada with 200 Japanese yen. Arigato, thank you so much for the 200 yen and the super chat. Brad Palmer is here, Bousset is here. So in a moment, I'll pick up the gimbal and we'll start moving and I'll go outside and we're gonna do a familiar route, but it's been a while since I've done this route on a stream. I think the last time I did this was in a morning way back in, I think, May. I went in the opposite direction. I just finished recording a video that brought me to this very spot. Let me get my backpack on. I've just got the gimbal set up. Looking out over onto Yonge Street. Turn that around. There I am, just chilling in whatever you call this place. John Burke is here. Hello, John Burke. All right, all systems go. I've got full signal strength. Vivian Johnson, our supreme leader, is here. Welcome, Vivian. Bringing your trusty wrench in tow. You can see the sign there for the subway. Yogi is also here. Pisco Pedagoga, Lone Aries. Did I say that right? All right. There is a food court over there. I used to work across the street from here and I would occasionally come here during lunch and eat. And there used to be a Starbucks down here as well, but that Starbucks closed up shop during the pandemic. There was a guy with a phone on like a gimbal over there. I don't know what he was recording for. But either way, time to get moving. Vivian says never leave home without it with her trusty wrench. So this is connected directly to the subway. And there's a Go Bus terminal as well. I don't think security likes it when you record in places like this, so we're just gonna head straight down to the doors. This is the York Mills Center. And hello, Yonge Street. So I just made my way down here from Yonge and Shepherd recording a video. Now I'm going to continue walking south through Yonge and Lawrence Maybe we'll take a little detour in the park just up ahead. Usually it says "Go Leafs Go." Security never has a happy face on. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm sure a schmuck with a camera on a gimbal is the least of their worries most of the time. There's a whole bunch of really bad driving going on. This person a little bit asleep at the wheel. A few drivers turning through when they shouldn't have, hence all those horns before. So on the left is York Mills. That's York Mills Road. But on the other side of Yonge Street is Wilson Avenue. We'll just lock my phone. Now I've got a speeding ticket here years ago. I could see how it would be very easy to find yourself going a little too fast if traffic were light in these parts. Yonge Street is wide and there's hills on either side. I absolutely go flying through here on my bike sometimes. Not that I condone speeding, but it makes sense that this is a spot where people would get nailed for it. Oh, look at this vet. I hope you're all having a good Wednesday so far. Paranormal witness girl joining the chat. I'm gonna make a left here and we'll pass through the park for a bit. This is an entrance to York Mills Station. I don't know if I've ever taken before, but oh, these stairs don't lead me to where I want to go. I want to go left. But this is the West Don River branch. Found a little bit of serenity. Your whole family watches my videos? Well, tell your whole family thank you. Hello, Barbara Perkins. There is a chance I'm going to skip posting a video tomorrow and do a morning live stream. Just a wee chance. And Friday night, I think we might do one from at home. And then maybe Saturday or Sunday I'll get out and do one if you're wondering what's coming up. Paranormal witness girl says looking sketchy. I believe tranquil was the word I used. But I need to keep my eye on the connection walking through here. As long as the connection stays strong, rather than walk along busy Yonge Street the whole way, we can cut through this park. And this is an extremely affluent neighborhood called Hogs Hollow. one of the richest in the city. I remember a lady once ran out of her house when I was live streaming through it, asking what I was doing. And she said there was a bunch of car thefts lately, as if I would so brazenly case the place. And then she said, like, you're right. Walking around with a camera on a gimbal. Velkos says I used the word serene, but that's similar to tranquil. Hey man, there is a funky looking tree. That might be the highlight of the stream. Hello, Lisa. So sunset, I think, is around 6:40. So it's going to be pretty dark by the end of this one. Zach says the Maple Leafs are playing the Canadiens at 7 p.m. tonight. Is it still preseason? I am completely out of the loop for hockey. Mike Landry, $5. Hello, Johnny, and everyone in the chat. Mike Landry, thank you so much for the $5. Hope you're doing well, as I, for some reason, don't look directly at the camera. Bring on the darkness. I'm wearing my trail running shoes, so I'll stick to walking on the grass here for a bit. All right, Claudia, thanks for tuning in. I think I've still got a member's request to attend to from you, and I have one from Bill Chow as well. And Annyeong Haseo to the friendly viewer with the Korean name. And Anetta. We're just waltzing through a park. It would be, Barbara. Hello, Debbie Lynn, watching from Sudbury, 4 hours north of us. That's quite the distance away. I remember once walking along the river, right around here somewhere. I'm not sure if I can get back to that same spot. That was kind of neat. There's Yonge Street again. This is the Mill Street Bridge, Township of North York, built in 1964. Oh, that sign says 1913 on it. As we head over the Don River, the west branch of the Don River. Lisa feeling like a philosopher tonight. And I just got a notification. Thanks for the super thanks, Dennis, if you're watching. Dennis just sent a super thanks on one of my regular videos. Thank you, Dennis. Naughty Brown 199 for cheering me up. Hello, everyone. Hello, Naughty. I see a tennis ball. Thank you very much for the super chat, Nani. Hope you're feeling better. Oh, this guy's, I was gonna go get that that tennis ball. And this guy's running to get it. All right. As long as I don't slip on this top part, I should be good. All right, I found the same spot I found before. Maybe this will be a good chance for a new thumbnail for this video. Yeah, it looks kind of dorky. Thank you, Naughty Brown. Oh, Dennis sent a few more $5 super thanks. Thank you, Dennis, if you're watching. Jeanette, $5 says, can't stay, have a great evening, Johnny and pals. Thank you, Jeanette. Sorry to hear you can't stay, but I'm sure you're off to bigger and better things tonight. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Tickle the like button on your way out. Lisa, if you head south down Yonge Street, or I guess, yeah, from York Mills Station, right at the tennis courts, you can find this. It's right behind the tennis courts. I feel like this is somewhere they'd film a Fast and the Furious scene. Perpetually Taggy, £4.99, a small donation as a thank you for your walks. And my daughter's here with me, has a crush on you. She's wanted you to know. Now she's blushing. Perpetually Taggy, thank you so much for the $4.99. And tell your daughter I say hello. I am flattered by your remarks and very grateful for your super chat. And from the looks of it, you are in the UK. We've got a couple of UK mods, Yogi and Sheena Roberts. And Naughty Brown, a viewer, is from the UK. And there's several more. Let's just go to the end of this thing. I'm actually going to put my phone down for a second and do my belt up one notch. It is getting annoying. I have not been losing weight. I just screwed up and didn't tighten it properly. Danger, drop ahead. Access beyond this point may result in drowning. All right, let me put the phone down for a sec. Don't fall over, gimbal, with my expensive iPhone. I see a super chat. Ahmed Mohammed, $5. Ahmed, thank you so much. Thank you again, Ahmed, for your support. Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick peek at Google Maps here for a sec. All right. Sheena says we're so close to the edge. Like that Aerosmith song, Edge. Hey, we're at 220 viewers. Thank you, guys. This will be one of a few very annoying reminders to like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things, the bell, share, etc., etc. It's much appreciated as the very long, slow climb to 100,000 continues. All right, Don River. I've got to keep my eye on the connection speed because the last time I tried to stream through this area, it did not work, but that was with Bell. I'm on Rogers. Albert Figueroa, $5 super chat. Thank you, Albert. Thank you so much, Albert, for, whoops. There's a couple just standing there, but we are walking through a very well-to-do area. This is Hogs Hollow. Since it's still daylight, my original plan was just to go straight on Yonge Street. We can spend some time here. That sign says neighborhood watch. I wonder if someone is watching me. There are a lot of really big, nice homes in here. And quite ridiculously, no sidewalks. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn right just up here. Only twice have I ever had nosy people wondering what I was up to when I was recording in areas. Once on Inglewood, when all the giant inflatable Santas were out, and once in this area. Here, we'll take a quick peek at what's just over here. This is the spot where a lady ran out and was like, "What are you doing?" I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, it's definitely got a vibe to it, this area. Look at that, nice big home. I wonder what the trick-or-treating is like. But we're gonna make a left here and march back up to Yonge Street. Carl says no Lamborghinis in this area. I bet there are some in these garages. I would bet the farm, there's a number of supercars in this area. All right, now I could go right here, or I think I could keep going straight. So we've begun our ascent upwards. Got a fancy ass staircase. Maybe this is where our CEO Vivian Johnson resides. This is a very quiet and peaceful neighborhood. What do I pay? What do I pay the CEO? Nabisco, Peak Freens, Oreos. Oh, look at this one on the left. Bradley Demolition. There's someone kind of looking at me. Let's just look this way for a second. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Dennis. The CEO is paid entirely in stock options. Are they virtual or real cookies? You're gonna have to direct these questions to Vivian. Look at that. Absolutely stunning, the landscaping on that. I probably couldn't afford their exterior bathroom, which actually kind of smells like shit. Imagine doing that driveway in the winter. Yikes. Albert Figueroa checking in from Scranton, Pennsylvania. The area where you're at reminds me of parts of Pennsylvania where you live. Thank you so much, Albert, for the support. Glad you're enjoying it. I've only ever really passed through Pennsylvania. Imagine having that as the entrance to your house. Or even pulling up to that as like a Domino's driver. Oh, little buffering, yeah. We hit a small rough patch in the connection, but that's right where it went out when I was on Bell. So Rogers did a little better than Bell. Okay, the connection should restore itself. Sorry about that, guys. The connection took a dip, a pretty big dip when I was in there. We're back up to 5,000 bit rate. It's supposed to top out at 6,000. Let's see if it keeps climbing. Now we're up to 5,200. Keep going. The connection is recovering. Yeah, I wouldn't end the stream. I would just resume it. But the connection has fully restored itself. Thanks for bearing with me for that, guys. I knew I'd have to keep an eye on the connection. And there is some iPhone 15 Pro zooming magic. That is Yonge and Shepherd off in the distance. That's as close to it as I can get. And if you're wondering, yes, I am debating getting the Pixel 8 Pro or waiting for the S24 Ultra. I really want to see how this video boost works on the Pixel before I make a decision on that. And that phone would be my daily phone, and this iPhone would go back to being a streaming phone. Minizine says, big time moment. Sweet. There's a Loblaws on the left. So we are entering Young Lawrence Village just up ahead. So things are going to be fairly built up from here on. So my big plan is to end up around Yonge and Eglinton, and I'm gonna buy some milk and some bananas and pick up some dinner, and that's gonna be my night. But first we gotta get down to Yonge and Eglinton. I'm happy to bring you along with me. So welcome to the odd intersection of Yonge and Yonge. This is Yonge Boulevard and Yonge Street. It's a bit of an oddball. We lost that sweet angle because of that pole. I can play the new Resident Evil 4. I don't know why I'd want to play a AAA title on a phone. I have a PS5 I barely play. What day is it today? It is Wednesday. $1 off any classic or deluxe chicken sandwich. $6.99. Thank you, Janine. Glad you're happy to tag along. It's a little too early for that. But there is a Popeyes down at Yonge and Eglinton. Cassie's Barbershop. Joy Star Cafe, Pastry and Bakery. I thought it said Toy Star. Sorry guys if I missed some chats. We're in a busier area. My eyes will be mostly on my surroundings. Hello, Marie Palmer and Sebastian. So if you're just tuning in, I'm heading south down Yonge Street on the east side through Young Lawrence. Barbara says I'm getting tempted. I'm starting to have that thought, what's for dinner? I had my usual smoothie for breakfast, and then I had a huge bowl of muesli, I guess, for lunch. Nice driving, jackass. They had perfect visibility if they just stayed behind this big white line for pedestrians. I think it's only acceptable to block a crossing if you don't have perfect visibility. JD asking, have I ever tried the Captain's Boil on Yonge? No, I haven't. I have no intentions on doing so. I'm not much of a seafood eater. Oh, hello? Someone just saw me and waved at me. There's the Burger's Priest. There used to be a place next door called the Burger Cellar that unfortunately closed. I think it was the pandemic restrictions that put this place under. And now a hair salon for men is moving in. Good morning from the Philippines. It is 6:24 a.m. there. That'll make Robert Parker happy if he's watching. There's a Mastermind Toys. I did a video walking through a Toys R Us last week. Jelly Bean likes the one on Queen. I'm not a huge fan of the Burger's Priest. Not when Rudy exists, and now Alouette in my neighborhood. Is that a Catholic burger? That's a good question. I have no idea what's up with that name. It's a weird name. Speaking of not a fan of, there's Pizziolo. Abbott's. If only they changed that second B with an O, they could have been a boot pub and fair. Huge missed opportunity there. Marge, $5, topping up the bubbly fund. Thank you, Marge. I just so happen to have a bubbly in my backpack. Thank you so much, Marge. These random pauses aren't because my nose is starting to run and I'm soaking it up with a tissue. That's not at all what's happening. The Monkey Bar and Grill. I don't even know what kind of place that is. I'm curious to see the menu, but there's a bunch of people going in. Maybe we'll take a peek. Looks like some fancy fine dining. Soup of the day. Maine's chickpea fried shrimp with chipotle citrus sauce. $35. I don't know if you guys can see that because of the glare. There's something I would eat. Roasted rack of lamb with herb jus, vegetables, garlic, and mashed potatoes. $50. Pecan crusted chicken breast with mustard cream sauce, vegetables, and mashed sweet potato. $30. Now you're talking my language a little more. And a cocktail is going to run you about $14. A little too fancy pants for me. I mean, that entree says 50, but I'm going to be out another 15 for a drink. And you're going to throw tax and tip onto that. And $50 becomes 80 or 90 before you know it. Which is why, in a recent survey, people said they are eating out much less these days. It's just gotten astronomical to go to a restaurant. Do I think I'm going to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? I don't know. Probably at some point. I've seen all of them. Although I'm not much of a buff for that sort of thing. Patisserie Sebastian, Tandem Studios. It's really kind of an interesting hood. Leslie says, what street am I on? I am on Yonge. Heading through Yonge and Lawrence. It's been a while since I passed through here. Keith says, which is why I cook at home. Yeah, even buying groceries though, I live alone. And it can get very expensive just buying the stuff to put together a meal. There used to be a PJ's Pets where that Dollarama is. Limousine loves this area, it's very low key. I think a big part of that is the low density nature of the housing. You do not see apartments or even mid-rises once you get off Yonge Street. It is all low density housing. But there's so much retail here. It's impressive how much of it are not big chains. So I agree with you, it's got a really nice atmosphere. I don't know the word for it on the street here. I guess pleasant is the word. Although I would like to see some more housing built up along Yonge Street here. And maybe a block east or west of it should be zoned for the missing middle. Something Montreal does so well. In Toronto, you're either in a shoebox in the sky or in a $5 million house. I still don't know to this day who goes to Gabby's. They are everywhere in the city. And they are always open, but I never see people there, and I don't know anyone who goes there. If you know the mystery behind Gabby's, feel free to let me know. I'm sure it's actually quite decent. I was asking, do I watch Maple Leafs games? Not normally. Lisa says tourists go to Gabby's. But how do you explain Gabby's in this area? Ooh, if it was closer to dinner time, Filthy Phillies would be a good option. They've got a number of locations. Philly, 6-inch cheesesteak fries, and a pop. Looks good. If you move to Toronto, do I want to open a restaurant with you? If I don't have to invest anything or do any of the work, yes, I will. I will not be liable for any negligence or financial opportunities, but I'll be happy to profit from it. That place looks pretty cool. Chop Hop and Pantry. It's got a really neat aesthetic. And it looks like that entire block is doomed to go. It is all boarded up. Barbara says nothing wrong with a shoebox as long as you're comfortable. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I lived in a tiny, tiny apartment when I was in Seoul. It was like 300 square feet. And the funny thing is, when I would meet locals and they would visit, they would be impressed. They'd be like, oh, your place is so nice. I'm like, really? You can barely turn around in here. There used to be a small supermarket in there. Hopefully what's coming does the area justice in terms of the retail it brings to the street. But it makes sense to build housing right next to a subway. Speaking of which, there's an entrance to the subway right there. That is Lawrence Station. The Uptown Pub House. They've got a couple of big supermarkets. There's a Metro. There's an independent city market just south of it. And this place is an interesting concept. It's a real estate brokerage and cafe. Brewing Brokers Real Estate. I've yet to try it, but apparently it's quite successful. You don't think there's Gabby's downtown? I think there is. There's one on Church Street, if I'm not mistaken. Church or Jarvis? It might be Jarvis. And there's another one on King Street East. I know I've seen a few. Now we hope this truck doesn't run us over. Stopping behind a line is hard for some people. Hey, this area's got a new Dollarama. And Fire Station 131. Dollaramas have really become lifesavers these days for a lot of people. And it used to be they had a lot of sort of off-brand crap, like toothpaste brands you've never heard of, but it's mostly brands you've heard of for much less than you'll get at one of the big national grocers. I was reading that Walmart and Costco have pledged to slash grocery prices in the face of grocery costs spiraling out of control. What kind of planet are we living on where Walmart becomes the good guy? Jellybean says that's a cute fire station. I thought so. So we're at Yonge and Lawrence. We've walked one full subway stop. There's Lawrence Station. There used to be a Starbucks across the street. And that's long closed. There's a library. I believe that's the George H. Locke Memorial Library branch. You could go left on Lawrence here and head over to a York University campus, Glendon. Or you could head north up Bayview a few blocks and make a right and find yourself in the very swanky Bridle Path neighborhood. James says you should be able to get some good Halloween things from Dollarama, for sure. Decorations, treats, I don't know about costumes, but I'm sure they have some crappy ones. Speaking of which, I'll be looking to do a Halloween video or two this year. We'll find some neighborhoods that are decked out. And last year I did a live stream that went through Rosedale and Cabbagetown. That was pretty good. I'm kind of thinking of not going to Inglewood or Kringlewood this year, the street with all the giant Santas. I've done it like 3 years in a row. But if Jeanette were here, she'd be happy to see this library dating back to 1949. Toronto has a fantastic collection of libraries. I think this is the most used library system of any major city in the world, actually. I think I read that online today. So from the Yonge and Lawrence neighborhood into Yonge and Eglinton. Yogi loves the giant Santas. Maybe I'll go live stream from there. But I don't know about doing yet another video. One year I did 2 videos through there. I put one on the Stumbles channel. Hello, Dirk G. Michael Nguyen says, thank you for doing the beginning of the video live stream sunset of Toronto. You're welcome, Michael. Yeah, the sunset is beginning. Did someone just abandon a stroller? They just got sick of it? Hopefully there's not a rabid baby on the loose. That's a pretty good brand too, isn't it? Graco? I don't know shit about baby strollers, but I've definitely seen that one. All right, I think it's that time of the stream. Just gonna sit down for a sec. If you're new to the channel, you might not be able to guess what I'm about to have. On the morning live streams, I like to stop off at a cafe and get myself a nice coffee, at least when it was hotter out. But tonight, it's getting cool. I think I'm actually gonna throw my coat on and we're gonna have a blackberry bubbly. Please bear with me for a moment while I put my coat on. It's definitely cooling off a fair bit. Johnny models a coat on a live stream. It's always a pain in the butt sorting the hoods out. Hey, there's a car that just stopped there. How do I look? Like 007 good? Probably not. We'll get up and running in a minute. But not without cracking open the bubbly. Let me see what I've been missing in the chat. The first thing I read is pretty fly for a white guy. No flavor bubbly time. You're a big fan of lime bubbly? Keith, yeah, lime bubbly is awesome. It gives me strong 7-Up vibes without all the sugar or sweetener. Just give me a sec, guys. Oh, this guy's getting out of his car. Maybe Johnny Stride's fans. I highly doubt that's the case. All right, let's get up and start moving. Oh, that guy had a case of Blue Light. I didn't know people still drank with that blue. All right. I'm gonna make sure I got my backpack all zipped up. Got my cameras in it. And we are at 9,900 steps on the day. All right. Time to get up. Is carbonated water as popular in Canada as it is in America? It's becoming more popular. You know, I started with soda streams, and then I just kind of switched over to bubbly for some reason. Jellybean, $5, fashion show tip. Jellybean, thank you so much with a fashion show tip. You're very welcome for the fashion show, if you can call it that. I kind of want to run around on this dirt here, as I've got the extra wide trail runners on, and you thought you could escape a stream where I don't show my footwear. All right, I don't really want to tangle with this truck. We'll just wait for it to turn. Not really something I want to be walking in front of. Is he going to clear the curb without the wheels hitting? No. But pretty good job by that driver. Unlike a certain video where we saw a big bus crunch a BMW. There's the Church of the Blessed Sacrament. Blessed? Sorry if my religious vocab isn't up to par. James says the heated gloves might be useful again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig them out. I stupidly didn't think to kind of charge the battery or keep the battery somewhere in that like 30 to 80% Goldilocks zone. So they're either, I don't know where they are. They're probably close to being fully discharged. I might be getting a new single speed bike. So we might be getting some traditional bike rides, and I'll fill you in on the details of that if I get it. It'll be nice to do some old-fashioned style pedaling instead of always being on the e-bike or e-scooter. Johnny, what am I doing this Halloween? Probably making some content, and that's about it. All right, St. Edmunds and Chatsworth. The Chatsworth Ravine is over there on the right. All right, hello, Maroof. Jefferson, all is well. This says Halloween is midweek this year, which sucks. Yeah, Friday or Saturday would be better. Halloween should be one of those, the last Friday of every October kind of holidays, rather than October 31st. Just given the nature of the night. Those kids ramped up on sugar and go back to school the next morning. So we're making our way up to Yonge and Eglinton. It's the Alexander Muir Memorial Gardens. Let's do a quick trip through here. Randomly stepping off of Yonge Street. These gardens actually used to be near Yonge and Davisville. At some point in time, they were relocated. Sheena says, pretty gardens. And this will take you through a ravine trail if you keep going. See the lower light with the wide angle lens. Johnny, what was the best costume I ever wore? I don't know, I had like a mechanic suit and a Jason mask way back in the day, but I combine that with like an old He-Man axe. Authenticity points on that one. There's a trail over there, I think, that leads up to Yonge Street. This is where I should have came for the bubbly break. Well, I thought from a distance this might have been like a Canadian flag or something, but nope. But they got the colors of it. There's some tennis courts straight ahead. I think there's a lawn bowling club. All right, I think I want to head up this little road here. So we'll head back up to Yonge Street. I always want to do like nature streams through these ravines. But you often run into signal problems. Maybe there'll be a Cedarvale ravine stream in the future. I think I've had luck going through there. And with all the fall colors starting to kick in, I think that'll be a nice one. The garden looks magical. I think I could have picked a more scenic route to climb out of this park. 21st Century Walk says the Pixel does good computational photography, especially night photos. Well, the Pixel 8 has a feature that makes you ask, what is a photo? If you take a picture, like a burst picture of like 8 people in a group, you can click on their faces and choose each individual person's face to, so if someone had their eyes closed, if someone looks blurry, if someone's not looking, you can kind of find the ideal pose from each person and it'll combine it into one seamless picture. But to me, A photo is like a moment in time. And if you do that, that is not a moment in time because that is something that never happened. Johnny, do you ever feel like you're the epicenter of people gathering positively to watch your content? I don't know. I'm not an overly positive person. I would self-label myself as a bit of a realist. But the community is pretty awesome. You guys collectively are more positive than I am. We found a range golf ball. I don't know if that should just be sitting on the road like that, but I don't want it. Maybe we'll just leave it right here. Don't roll off. There, someone who wants it can collect it. Hopefully they don't chuck it at a car or something. Oh, Raja fam. What time is it? 6:54, so the sun is going down as we make our way south down towards Yonge and Eglinton. And I remembered for once to bring my reusable shopping bag in my backpack. You know what? I think banning plastic bags is somehow worse. Because now I'm buying plastic bags from Amazon to use as grocery bags. And whenever I go shopping and I forget the disposable bag, I end up buying a new one for like 35 or 50 cents. And I've probably got like 20 of the disposable ones. Whereas when I'd go shopping, I would at least repurpose the plastic bags that I bought and I'd use them for garbage or recycling. So now I'm using the same amount of plastic, but I'm also using a lot more disposable bags. And I'm paying more for the plastic bags I'm buying than I did through the grocery store, and I'm paying for those disposable bags. So I'm losing money, creating more waste, using the same amount of plastic. I don't really get it. Like, I get moving away from plastic, but to me, I see it as a net loss. Sometimes I want to swing by the grocery store and pick something up on my way back from recording, but I don't bring my backpack with me or have the thought to bring those reusable bags. Johnny Bean says I always forget my bags in the car. JD says paper straws are the worst. They have gotten better. The first time I ever had a paper straw was, oh, we're really off topic tonight, in Bali at a Starbucks. And within like 30 minutes, the straw was just mush in my like $6 ice drink. I get moving away from plastic, disposable plastics, but there's got to be a better option than paper straws. And why didn't we get rid of plastic knives, forks, and spoons? They're all over the place. Sometimes places have those wooden ones, or that wooden spork. I don't know the answer to these problems. Hello, Mark Lang. Good to see you tuning in from down under. Yeah, Sheena. Tonight I remembered, I knew I needed milk and bananas. Sometimes I just buy whatever I can carry. I limit my grocery shopping to what I can hold in my hand, and then I awkwardly go from like a supermarket into a Dollarama or vice versa, carrying something that the other store already sells. Feeling like I'm a thief. Kristen says the paper straws for the slushies at Circle K are the worst. Some of them do seem to hold up over like maybe 45 minutes or an hour. And that's another thing. I know people that are in the habit of grabbing 2 or 3 paper straws. And they just cycle them out midway through their drink. That's got to be worse than just using 1 plastic straw. Smitty says some places in Ontario still sell plastic straws. Yeah, occasionally I get one. And I feel like an asshole, but I'm happy when I get one. It's like, whoo! Score. So this is a pretty long stretch without a subway. Interestingly, there is a subway on the west side. A few blocks south of here. There's a street. I must be having a brain fart. But it's got a subway stop over on the west end in a very residential area between Lawrence and Eglinton West. That same ball, authentic Chinese cuisine, has been there for a while. And that Domino's, I think, used to be a Subway. One of those two used to be a Subway. Whenever I order Domino's, that's where it comes from. And Eugene says, why not create a pill that accommodates every human need in one go? I am no nutritionist or doctor, but I think you need to chew food and process it. And your body coats the food with enzymes, and then that aids your gut in building up beneficial bacteria. Because people that go on all smoothie diets have trouble with their guts because they're not consuming solid food. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Yes, Glencairn, Pale Child. I have no idea why my brain just decided to forget the name of that. 21st Century Walks is a Soylent Green pill. Hey, one of those nutritionally complete smoothie drinks is called Soylent. That's the one I started off. I switched to one called Whole Food. But I only do it for 1 meal a day. And I do add a lot of things to it. You can see a video of that over on the Johnny Stumbles channel, actually. Of me making my morning breakfast smoothie. There's the Captain's Boil. Someone mentioned that earlier. Milk Cow Cafe. Tax Assist Accountants, the accounting and tax service for small businesses. I am too small for that. Although I'm ready this tax year. I have already paid my first installment. The second installment, I think, is due in October. I think that's now. I better look into that. Oh, Sultan. Maybe 3 years ago, I was doing a late night live stream and it was freezing cold, and A&W had like, it was either free coffee or $1 coffee going on. I popped in there and got a coffee on stream. It's always a bit of an art form, throwing your trash out on the street without touching the bin. What was that question? How much time would I take to run 5K? I once did 10K in like an hour. But that was, I was severely hungover and I forgot I even signed up for it. And I found out the morning of it that I would be running that morning. And I even pulled into a 7-Eleven and bought a Gatorade during that 10K. That was in Korea. I used my T-Money card.
Like every month.
I grabbed the Gatorade and tapped and ran. And that one was really awesome. We started in Jamsil in Seoul in the big Olympic stadium there from the '88 Olympics. So we did like a half lap around that track and then ran right out the building. Tokyo smoke. Okay, there's, if you know me and it's Christmas, there's a good chance I'm getting your Christmas gift from there. Here's some really expensive hand soap. It says, I didn't put much thought into it, but at least I wasn't cheap. Gertesh says, is that Strides Land? According to Ken, it would be. There's a Lululemon. It's always a bit more quiet up in this end. Definitely gets busier and busier the further south I go. Minizine sees a crane approaching. Yep, over the old Capitol. James says this time of night is great on camera. I wonder how this would compare to streaming on the iPhone 12 right now. And I saw Jeff from Travel Fun 69 was live streaming on a Galaxy S22, and his streaming quality was pretty solid. Novelka says it wouldn't be quiet if Ken was here. There'd be several dinguses hovering around, or dingai. Yes, I secretly slipped a dingus magnet on him, and he's yet to find it. That was me being evil. Oh, speaking of needing food, I sometimes go to this place. I go to Alibaba's or Osmo's. You know what? There's an idea. I'm gonna get my groceries and maybe come back up. Bilbo's. That place looks fancy AF. Never been. So thanks for tuning in. The end goal is Yonge and Eglinton. And I shall do some grocery shopping. You know, I did not have my Swiss Chalet on Thanksgiving. I ordered it. And then, well, first I tried to order through the Swiss Chalet app, and it wouldn't let me. I think they were too busy, so then I placed an order through Uber Eats for Swiss Chalet. And then it said driver is on the way. It was picked up after like an hour and 20-minute wait. I was finally about to get my Swiss Chalet, and guess what? Uber Eats canceled it. They just flat out canceled my order, even though it had already been made and picked up. So I hit the little chat button to complain. They gave me 10 bucks. Hey, there's where I get my haircut. For my troubles, I was like, thanks. I'd much rather have food than 10 bucks through Uber. I'm guessing the driver had an issue, or he was just at the end of his shift and decided, I'm gonna have some Swiss chalet for Thanksgiving. Oh, this place is fantastic. Tuumboku Ramen, $19.99 for family karagi. There's a new Ajisan Ramen opening up just south of here. What is that? Uptown Yonge Halloween Haunt Up. 11 to 6 at the St. Clement's Parquet. CN says that happened to me recently and it was a big order, so the guy 100% ate it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was his last ever shift. And he was like, I'm getting this poor guy's Swiss chalet for myself tonight. Starbucks. Oh. Unfortunately, this place is very expensive for getting bananas. Every time I pick a bunch up there, it comes to like $3 or $4, whereas in the supermarket, it's like one something. I'll still go there. But if I'm on my way to the supermarket, I'm just gonna get them from the metro. You know what's really nice about this time of year? Yeah, it gets dark earlier, but it's still kind of early, so you get good crowds on the streets. But you get that awesome sort of sunset glow. Instead of waiting till like 9:30 to get it in the middle of summer. Jelly Bean says channel members should make Johnny food on holidays. Naughty says we pay about £1 for a bunch of 5 medium bananas. There's La Vecchia. That's a pretty solid Italian restaurant, but I could show you one even better and cheaper around the corner. Bubble tea places are just invading this neighborhood. Tiger Sugar going in. There's a Jollibee. I've sworn off that particular location. Oh yeah, I said I was going to show a better Italian restaurant. That place over there, Sip Wine Bar, is fantastic. Very reasonably priced. And I think it's kind of family run. The people there are awesome. There's Grazie, a popular Italian restaurant. I'm not too fond of that. I much prefer Sip or even going to Cibo. Ooh, Bommy Boys. There's an idea for dinner tonight. Like, is this guy just walking around looking for his dinner? Yep. And Dollarama and Alouette are across the street. Smitty says Sip Wine Bar got some great pizza. They do. I always get their mushroom pizza. It's called like fungi something. It has never disappointed. Speaking of not disappointing, pie is a fantastic Northern Thai restaurant just up there. Then we have the Rosencrown and Absolute Comedy right next to a Dollarama. If they don't have what you need, have no fear, there's another Dollarama right across the street. There's some more bubble tea shops. That Star King over there used to be a sit-down restaurant, but they have bubble tea as well, but they also have banh mi. Kristen says the Rosencrown is your favorite. It's probably my favorite watering hole in this area. Yonge and Eglinton lost a lot of places. Remember Filthy McNasty's, Alley Cats. But Duke of Kent is still here, Rosencrown is still here. It lost the Unicorn, unfortunately. But there's still plenty of great places. And I think once construction finishes, this area is really going to once again be a more desirable spot. There's the Yonge Eglinton Center. Janine, the Rose and Crown is like a traditional pub, but on weekends you'll find some live music there. Just a lot of people having a good time. Speaking of Duke of Kent, there it is. That used to be a shoe store I never went to, Softmock. Galleria. They have Korean food? Huh. I might pay that place a visit. I'm surprised I've never been, but speaking of bars, there's a new one, Function Bar. It's kind of like a hipstery basement bar. That's actually pretty cool. I'm glad to see they pulled through the pandemic. Although one time I walked in and they just had a sign on a table saying cover charge tonight. I was like, oh, there's no one playing music. I guess that's later. I sat down, I had a drink, I settled up, and I went to leave, and I noticed my bill had a cover charge added. There was 3 of us, and we all had an extra like $10 on our bill. We were like, what the hell? And they're like, the sign said cover charge. I'm like, I had never seen a place charge a cover like that before. All right, welcome to the jungle that is Yonge and Eglinton, where the crosstown was supposed to open years and years ago, and it won't open for several more years. I'm gonna try something here. Let's see if this works. Where are we going? Are we going in an elevator? Yes, we are.
Going up.
Don't stop, don't stop. Ah, there we go. Do I still have full connection in here? Sweet. Roof. Hopefully there's not a lot of people up here. Someone doing like an Instagram shoot. Well, welcome to the rooftop patio, open 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. There's a look down at Yonge and Eglinton. Take a look up at some of the towers. And there is a view of the new subway entrance to the LRT station. And apparently that's going to be a park in behind it. And look at that, we get some CN Tower action. Can I get closer? Is that the closest you're going to let me go? So if you're at the Yonge Eglinton Center and you're curious to check this out, just literally pop into the elevator and head up. Naval Cost is hoping the line will be open in his lifetime. Fat chance of that. Sir, unless you're planning to live to 1,000. But I've got groceries to get. So we're going to sign off, but I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, yada yada. It was a fun stream. Turl Alexarov, $10 with tip. Did I miss something? Oh, someone's replying to someone. RJ says, can we stay here all night? Want me to just set the camera up and go shopping and see if it's still here when I come back? Big city sounds. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank our mods, thank our channel members, Patreon supporters, and everyone who just joined in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'm going to sign off now, but thank you so much, guys. Someone just came out here, so I am not alone. And I will catch you on the next one. All right, have a good night, guys. Yoink.